Hi everybody! So today I'm going to be filming a video about things that they don't tell you in college. I already started this series on my blog, which I will link in the description box so you can go see some of the other advice that I've given. But I'm a senior now, so I figure, you know, I've learned some things. There are some things that I can tell you. The music in the background is my friend Trayvon the Revolution Love's new CD, Balance of the Universe. So if you like that, I'll see if I can find his SoundCloud and see if I can link that. Okay, so the first tip that I have is that skipping class makes you a lot more stressed than anything else. Like, I spent some of my college career being really stressed out because I had a huge project, and then I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna skip the class right before so that I can finish the work and then I'll be fine. Don't do that. That doesn't work, because then you've just doubled your workload, because yeah, you got the project done and you made it to the class with the big thing due on time, but now you've got to get notes from somebody if your teacher doesn't post the PowerPoints online, and figure out what you missed, and sometimes there are like pop quizzes, and yeah, just don't do that. Another piece of advice that I have learned is that sometimes your teachers suck, and they're not good at explaining stuff, or they hate students, and they shouldn't be teachers anymore. But the internet is your friend. Actually, YouTube has a bunch of great channels that are educational, and some of my favorites are Crash Course, which has a bunch of different subjects. Like, they have literature, psychology, biology, chemistry, US and world history, and ecology so far. And then SciShow, which is obviously about science, just generally, so that one. And then Veritasium is also about science. ViHeart is really good for understanding complicated math in normal people language. The Number File is also really good for math. And Minute Physics is great for physics, obviously, and then Minute Earth is great for like earth science stuff. There's also another educational channel called Sexplanations, which, like it sounds, is a sex ed channel. But I mean, it's not just for sex ed. Like, they talk about consent, they talk about kind of like relationships with other people. It doesn't give relationship advice, like not those kind of relationships, but more like how we relate to other people around us, if that makes sense. I don't know, I really like it. It's a fun channel. You learn new stuff, and there's a bunch of health information and a bunch of life information. I think you should check it out. Anyway, back to school. Another thing you should really do is fill out teacher evaluations. They make such a big difference. I mean, I've had terrible teachers who were really offensive, and I filled out the teacher evaluations because I knew that that teacher would read it and understand what they were doing wrong, and it's anonymous, so I'm not going to get in trouble for it, or like get any backlash or have my grades affected. And also, the chair of the department, or whoever is in charge of their department, usually reads them too. So if the teacher doesn't have tenure yet and they're terrible, then you can stop them from getting tenure and being terrible forever and ever. If they do have tenure already, that kind of sucks, because it takes forever to get rid of teachers with tenure, and that's a whole nother issue that's shitty that I'm not going to talk about. The last piece of advice that I have is volunteer. And I know that this is something that you've heard about before. Obviously, people tell you to volunteer when you're in college, when you're in high school, because it looks good on your resume and this and that. But volunteering, especially in college, is a really good, in undergrad, is a really good way to get experience that looks good for grad schools if you plan on applying, because there are a lot of departments on campus that will want your help, or like community projects who are looking for students to volunteer. And I mean, I'm going into social work, so I have volunteered with the Gender Equity Office at my campus. I've looked at reaching out to like the local sex abuse treatment and domestic violence organizations, and there are things like that in the community where they can really use your help and you can give back, but you're also getting experience and training that will be practical later in your life. So yeah, I hope that stuff was helpful, and I hope if you read through my blog posts about the same thing, those are helpful. Let me know if you have any specific questions about college or anything like that, and I'll get back to you in the comments below. Alright, bye.